Hey, ladies, come on in. Well, you know why you're here tonight or today. You've been asking me to address a very important item in your life, and that's your beau, your husband, your lover, your partner, your father, your son, and maybe just the men in general that are dear to you in your environment. Some people have said, "Do you have like training or anything for?" And I thought about that. Of course, it's very important, that both sides of this equation come together and start working, right? Or maybe there's a paradigm shift somewhere. But I do have a message, and this is for your beau, for your love. And my brothers, I'm just going to speak to them just for a few moments, okay? Yeah. But not as a critic, like, and not as a man who thinks that he's above anything, but someone who understands the deep visceral desire that lives in us. And you know, the way we experience it and go about that as men, as males, okay? And something I think in our nature, and maybe this is general for everyone, I can only speak for males though, is that at the end of the day, most men will have to deal with the question, what am I trying to get here? What can I get? You know, maybe it's a survival thing. Maybe it's something that's come up through the evolutionary. We have to go out there and conquer something and get something, right? And that may be very natural. And I feel that energy, as a provider. It's deep, it's beautiful. But often it sort of blurs out a deeper value, and that's what do I have to give? Now we are givers, and we think about giving in the way that we think about it. I won't get into all the specifics of sometimes what males must expose themselves to so they can give to their families and their lovers, loved ones. But oftentimes at the end of the day, it is about like what can I get rather than what I have to give, and or what kind of presence am I bringing? Like what does what does it represent? A tired worker, a tired laborer presence? Is that really me, or is that just the off scouring, you know, of drudgery, life of labor, or intense, if you're in the white collar, mental energy, So what presence am I bringing, especially when I'm with her? And we often do not consider what kind of man am I becoming. Well, I'll tell you one thing, they certainly do. about themselves. If you're involved with a woman who's highly attractive or what the world would consider beautiful and tells you that she attracts all this energy around her, she's already wondering what she's becoming, right? And we need to do a little bit of that too. What am I becoming? We don't think about that, do we? But the instinct that drives us, this is older than all of that. The psychology that I'm telling you about right now. This psychology we have is born out of very, very modern, contemporary lifestyle that is nothing like the way it was only 100 years ago and before then, like very static in many ways. Ours is very volatile in many ways. All right. So, but basically and instinctually, it's about, but it comes from a place of the biological. It's ancient and it's beautiful. This nature of ours to want to go out there and get. We evolved to feel this way. Testosterone is not a flaw, guys. Desire is not a sin. And the longing for beauty is not a weakness. No. Let's get into it. All right. And the truth is, women love this about us. Yeah, especially the highly attractive ones, because they appreciate the power that we bring. Mm. They want a man who feels desire, but who is not ruled by it. Yeah, that's what they want. But the modern world, it's bludgeoned us with shame. Shame for wanting, shame for feeling, and shame for even just being a man. So we hide our desire behind strategy, behind performance, behind doing everything right, and behind trying to impress her, and and behind trying not to lose access to her. Huh? Yeah. Yeah, it's beautiful though. That's what we do. That's us. But she feels all of this instantly, and how she interprets that, you know. See, you can have savvy, you can be gifted, confident, successful, well dressed, and it doesn't matter. No, she'll feel your pulse the moment you walk into the room, instantly. Yeah, here's something you're not going to hear. The PUAs are not talking about this, and other resources for men so much. You can't feel her. Let me say it again. You can't feel hers. And it's not because you're insensitive. It's not because you're unworthy, but because you're not sovereign enough yet to walk away. That's pulse. That's pulse. And a man who cannot walk away cannot feel a woman. He's too busy managing himself. He's too busy trying to get it right. He's too busy trying not to lose her. He's too busy trying to be chosen. I know. I can tell you, man. I've been there. I'll continue to be there. And she sees that first, see, before your charm and before your intelligence and before your kindness. She sees the posturing. Men play strategy, and women, especially the exceptionally attractive women, they play instinct. You think you're governed by your instinct, brothers? Wow, you're dealing with somebody that lives in their instincts, man. We don't really know how to deal with that. We surmise she knows. We jockey for position. She controls the board. The gioco piano. She knows her openings, and her closing. She's a chess player. She might not have ever seen a chessboard. She's a chess player, and believe me, guys, she's the queen. The queen is the name of the game, not the king. And in one instant, she decides, man, that dude's safe enough for the friend zone, but not that one, man. God forbid, we'll never get rid of him. Yeah, and she can smell that. In a, I got one for you. I bought a cute little book. It was all yellow. It was the taxi cab driver's um, philosophy of life. And every page, somebody had interviewed all these taxi cab drivers, and every page had, what they had gleaned and learned from a lifetime of driving people around. And on one page it says, the reasons why you will leave someone the very first moment you meet them. Some things just stick with you. Well, anyhow, getting back to your lady here. But remember, she's no ordinary lady. She won the gene pool lottery, right? That makes her a little bit different, right? So she's got these guys on her friend list, and some people that she's got court orders to keep them away, all right? And she does this not because she's cruel and not because she's manipulative, which is the word on the street about them. Oh, yeah, high maintenance. But because she's been shaped by thousands of encounters with men who wanted her beauty more than they wanted her humanity. And here's the part that breaks my heart, brothers. The very thing that we think will woo her is the thing that makes her stomach turn. And it's not because we're bad men or because we're not standing in ourselves. Yeah, the antidote is not game. It's not tactics. It's not dominance. It's not emotional shutdown. The antidote is presence, dignity, clarity, compassion. It's a great word, isn't it? Sovereignty. The antidote is becoming a man who is not moved by beauty, but who is moved by truth. I'll tell you, you want a relationship with all females, truth. is the beginning and the end of your relationship. A man who can feel desire without collapsing into it, all right? A man who can admire her without losing himself. A man who can walk away. Why? Because he's already whole. All right. But I'll tell you, man, I was reminded of these things just the other day when I was watching James Franco on 11/22/63, that series in Netflix. Shoot, I mean, it floored me when I saw this man's acting. I wasn't really all that familiar with, with Franco. I've seen him around, but boy, in this one, he wasn't aloof. He wasn't pretending to care. He wasn't hiding behind some mask of masculine detachment. He was a man on a mission he believed in. And yes, at one point, he even abandoned that mission for his beau, for that beautiful, charming woman, because of how deeply he felt for her. But here's the beautiful part. I'll tell you what. She didn't punish him for loving her. She helped him return to himself, man, and that's what you've got underneath all of this. The arguments, the I love the Italian word, the distacco, the distouch. For all those that are watching in Italy, I studied there at Urbino, 1973. He didn't posture, man. He didn't strategize. He didn't hide his affection behind some alpha, sigma performance. He loved her openly, man. He expressed it. He let himself be moved. He let himself be human. And she fell for him, not because he was perfect, but because he was present. Man, that Franco, he's got this Bogart presence, a quiet, steady, slightly weathered masculinity, the kind that doesn't need to announce itself. And a lot of you guys have that too. Oh boy, do you. You don't even know it, but they do. And I will tell you what these ladies had to do to vet out these hundreds of guys to get to you. Now you need to be able to get to her. Yeah. Yeah. So, and James Franco, he brings that beautifully right onto the screen. Man, he knows this guy's a seasoned actor. He's got that mix of softness and grit, humor and gravity. I don't know what he's like in real life, man, but but the man can inhabit a character, you know, with a kind of lived in authenticity that's rare, rare. Well, and that's the point. Women don't fall for perfection, they fall for presence, presence, you know. Not the man who hides his heart, not the man who performs confidence, not the man who tries to get it right, but the man who can feel deeply without losing himself, the man who can love without collapsing, and the man who can be moved without being shaken. So, brothers, see, it's really never been about chasing women. It's not about impressing them. It's not about winning them. Although, again, it's what we do. Maybe that's a beautiful part of us, too. But it's about becoming a man who stands, a man who shines, a man rooted and steady and unshakable, a man who does not posture and a man who does not contort himself for approval, a man who lets whoever is drawn to his light find him. That's the masculine return. That's the antidote. And that's the work. And that's the conversation that we're going to have here. Okay. So, look, I invite you guys, come to Avalon. The sites for this genre of females, but you're certainly welcome anytime you want to come. Check it out. And I'll tell you why, because if you read those comments, you're really going to learn about these ladies like you've never learned before. You're going to see things because they're opening their heart. If you come in with respect, with honor, with love. Come in quietly. The site is for them. It's not really for anyone else. It's not for the general public. But if you do come in, if it's you who are invited in, yeah, there you go. If you are invited in to the House of Avalon, you'll find some gems there. Go in to learn. Stop in to understand. And be gentle. Be kind. Because House of Avalon is a sanctuary for very special and sometimes chosen people. All right. So maybe we'll see you there at some point. And until then, and write me, let me know how you feel. You know, love you guys. Love you guys. Until then, remain. Peace.